Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all well. This is a continuation of my gift ideas series. I am recreating some coasters I've previously made for a customer. These are them. I really only showed them on my Instagram because I don't film everything. If somebody asks me to make them something, sometimes it's quicker to just make them than it is to film. And these were very popular. A lot of people did really like them. And one of my lovely subscriber friends, Caroline, asked me to do a video on them. This will be my third set of making them. So I am using these coasters that I got from Just For You online. I am using the same rose petals you would have seen in a previous video by Polly's Petals. Everything I'm using in today's video will be linked down below in the description box. Remember to check it out because usually if you see it in the video, it is linked there. If I can't find the link, I will also tell you that I cannot find it. The mica powder I'm using is by Resin Pro, my favourite mica powders. And I'm using Vista Cascade resin by Vista. And this resin is just perfect for coaster depth or keyring depth resin. I've got 2 cups here. One has got 3/4 of the resin in, and that's for the cream. And then the other cup has only got a little bit of resin in, and that's going to be for the gold foil and the rose petals. Now, I do buy my gold foil in these tubs, but sometimes it really gets clumpy. And when I mix it in with the resin, I just get big lumps. So I do my best to shred it even smaller before I put it into the resin. And it really does, it helps it not clump into big balls. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up these two together, making sure that your mica powder is absolutely fully mixed into the resin before you pour. Because again, you can get little clumps of powder, leftover powder, which has happened to me, and I have no doubt it will happen to me again. This one is a little bit easier. You will get a lot of air bubbles in with this because it's rose petals and foil. So what I like to do, again, this is optional, you don't have to do this, but what I like to do is just heat up my moulds a little bit. Not too much, you don't want to destroy your silicone. You only really want to give them a quick blast of heat just because they're quite cold at this point. And heating the moulds up as well will allow those air bubbles to come to the surface as well as what you do afterwards with the heat tool. So you only want to pour the rose petals and the gold foil into one part of your coaster, depending on really your own preference. What is your ratio? So I only want a little bit at the sides on these. And I'm just scraping it back because as soon as you pour the resin, it starts to travel. And I absolutely love this cream. I love this cream so much. I think Resin Pro is definitely, at the moment, they are my top mica powders. They've got the most stunning shimmer to them. And this cream in particular is absolutely beautiful. So I'm only filling my coasters, not to the top. I want to leave a lip to do a top coat. Now, if you're using your coasters for heat proof, if you want them to be heat proof, like if you're selling them or if you're giving them as gifts and they want to be able to put a hot cup of tea on the coasters, then you do need to top coat your coasters. Even if you're using heat proof resin for the main part of your product, even companies that sell heat proof resin recommend that you put a clear coat on top, because whatever you put in your resin, if it's mica powder or ink or pigment, it will have a detrimental effect on the heat proofness of your coaster. So I have left a gap of about 1 mil at the top of these coasters to enable me to do a top coat at a later date. Now, the original coasters I saw that Sarah originally sent me a picture to make had these rose petals loose in the cream. It was like, I don't know, just so romantic. And it felt like they had moved away from the main group of rose petals. So here you see me just putting a few rose petals in the cream area. What you need to keep in mind, which is something I often forget, is that resin does move. So really you want to wait half an hour before you put these rose petals in, because you will see afterwards that they did move. Most resin moves into the center of the mold, but you can also wait until your resin thickens up before you pour it. This will it will slow down the movement. Again, I forgot. As always, I still forget. But here you see me poking those rose petals down into the cream. They do come back up. You'll see them here. They come back up. What I don't want is for them to just sit on the top, and that's really going to affect the top coat because they will be protruding. So I'm just poking them down with a cocktail stick, and it just gives this really subtle rose petal look that you can still see when it's cured. Now, if you've been following me a while, you'll know I usually use frog tape. If I'm going to top coat something, I will always use frog tape on the underside of the product. But after speaking to Kaya at Nala and Goat and Kate over at Kaleidoscope Creations, they both use liquid latex. Now, guys, you know I'm lazy. Latex takes a while to actually dry. So I usually stick with frog tape. But because the shape of these coasters, there are so many sides, frog tape would have been really tricky. I decided to go with a liquid latex, and let me tell you, it was a dream to work with. And guys, I also sanded the tops. Okay, I know I've said in the past I don't sand the tops, but I actually sanded the tops on these. And that is because after speaking to Kate at Kaleidoscope Creations, she really convinced me that top coating is not just to help the resin stick. It's actually to stop the resin from coming away from the edges, which has happened to me before. I've poured a top coat in the past, not recently. I've poured a top coat and the next day there's a pool, there's an empty bit, there's a fisheye or a dimple, whatever you want to call it. And by sanding the tops, it actually avoids that because it's sanded and the resin grips so much better. I did leave a lip on these coasters to allow that top coat to really easily go on, and I was hoping that it would just go up to the edges and stop. As I've mentioned before, top coating is not my forte, and at one point I did see a drip off. Now once you create a drip off, sometimes it's too late to go back. And I felt that because I'd already put that liquid latex on the bottom, I could afford to flood coat these. And that's what I decided to do. So after I saw the drip off, I thought, it's just easier now at this point to pour a flood coat. And that just means I pour it until it goes over the edges. And then I rubbed all the edges around with a gloved hand. And then I blasted them with the torch to get rid of any surface bubbles that have arisen from that top coat. And I have to say I love them. Ignore the coasters in the background. They are another customer order that I've got going on at the moment, and it was just easier to do them all at once. So this is the next day, and you can see here how the resin has pooled underneath the coaster, so the drips have gone onto the underbelly of the coaster. And honestly, this was the most satisfying peel. Did anyone used to do this at school and used to put PVA on your hand so you could just peel it off? Look at the way this comes off. It took every single resin drip with it. There really was no difficulty here. You have to pull it at times and you have to go in and maybe pick it off individually, but because that resin is on top of the liquid latex, it was a dream. Look at this, so smooth. I don't know why I've not tried this. Well, I do know. It's because I didn't want to wait. I was too lazy. But I'm a changed person. Moving forward, I would definitely use this. This is the point where my glove ripped. I was trying to get that first grip of the liquid latex, but here we go again. It just came off like an absolute dream. Really, really happy with this technique. Liquid latex, if you are interested, I will link it below, but guys, it smells so bad, so bad. These are the dots I use to finish off my coasters. If I'm making a trinket tray or a large tray with handles or a coaster, I will always put dots on the bottom, and this is to protect your surfaces. So I use these 3M Electronics dots from Amazon. They are just so easy, and they really do stick to your pieces. And I'm also using them with my Jesmonite, and they're just a dream. So again, they will be linked below. Yeah, really love them. The gold pen. What am I going to do when this runs out? This is the Deco Colour Gold pen that my amazing friend in New York sent me over, because we can't get them in this country, but they give this thick, it's like a thick gold gilding effect, and they work so well with these coasters. Yeah, I have to say it is my favourite pen so far. Any gold pen will do, honestly. The original ones I made, I used a metallic gold marker that I got from Amazon, and it really was lovely. And any bits that missed, because it did get a bit streaky, I just used gold permanent paint, and they came out an absolute dream. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this, and I hope you enjoyed the step-by-step tutorial. It's not something I always do. Sometimes I put music on, but I love the fact that you can see the gold from the top of these because it's got the diamond cut edge, and I just love them. I just love them. I really want to make like a 3-tiered cake stand with this now, so that you kind of can get that matching set. But yeah, let me know what you think at this stage. Thank you so much if you've watched all the way through, and I hope you didn't mind the talking. I never really know which way to do it best, but I hope you've enjoyed, and I hope you found this helpful. And remember to check out the description box, like, subscribe, leave a comment. You're all amazing, and thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.